The relationship between atheism and Islam is complex. It is characterized by points of agreement and disagreement. This essay delves into the ongoing debates between these two distinct perspectives. It examines key areas of contention. These include the existence of God, the nature of religious texts, and the role of morality. By exploring these arguments, we aim to foster a deeper understanding of both atheism and Islam. Atheism, in its simplest form, is the absence of belief in God or any deities. It is a stance that often relies on scientific reasoning and empirical evidence. Atheists often question the validity of religious texts. They view them as human constructs rather than divine revelations. This perspective often leads to different interpretations of morality, ethics, and the meaning of life. Islam, on the other hand, is a monotheistic religion rooted in the belief in one God, Allah. Muslims believe in the divine revelation of the Quran. They consider it to be the literal word of God. This belief profoundly influences their worldview, shaping their moral compass and providing a framework for understanding the purpose of life and the hereafter. The intersection of these two worldviews sparks numerous debates. These debates are important. They reflect the fundamental differences in understanding the universe, humanity, and our place within it. This exploration of these debates seeks to shed light on these differing viewpoints. The goal is to encourage respectful dialogue and understanding between atheists and Muslims. One of the most fundamental points of contention between atheism and Islam centers on the existence of God. Atheists often argue that there is no empirical evidence to support the existence of a divine creator. They posit that the universe and life itself can be explained through natural processes like evolution and the laws of physics. This argument stems from a materialistic worldview. This view suggests that everything that exists is composed of matter and energy, and that all phenomena, including consciousness and morality, can be explained through physical processes. Muslims, however, approach the question of God's existence from a different angle. They cite the inherent order and complexity of the universe as evidence of a divine designer. The Quran, Islam's holy book, poses rhetorical questions to this effect, asking if it is more likely that the universe came into being from chaos or from a conscious creator. This argument from design, also known as the teleological argument, suggests that the intricate workings of the natural world point towards an intelligent creator. Another area of divergence lies in the interpretation of religious texts. Atheists often view scriptures like the Quran as products of their time and place. They see them as reflections of the social, cultural, and political norms of the societies in which they originated. This perspective challenges the idea of divine revelation. Instead, it proposes that religious texts are human constructs, subject to the limitations and biases of their authors. This view often extends to the moral codes and societal structures prescribed by religious texts, viewing them as potentially outdated or even harmful in a modern context. Muslims, however, hold a vastly different view of the Quran. They believe it to be the literal word of God revealed to the Prophet Muhammad through the angel Gabriel. This belief in divine revelation is a cornerstone of Islamic faith. It forms the basis for their understanding of God's will, morality, and the purpose of life. Muslims view the Quran as a timeless guide, offering wisdom and guidance that transcends cultural and historical contexts. The existence of suffering and evil in the world presents a significant challenge to theistic belief systems, including Islam. Atheists often point to the vast amount of pain and injustice in the world as evidence against the existence of a benevolent and omnipotent God. This argument, known as the problem of evil, posits that the existence of suffering is incompatible with the attributes typically ascribed to God. They argue that a truly all-powerful and all-loving God would not allow such suffering to occur. Muslims acknowledge the reality of suffering but view it through a different lens. They believe that God has a purpose for everything that happens, even if it remains unclear to humans. They see suffering as a test of faith, an opportunity for spiritual growth, and a reminder of the impermanence of worldly life.